Hey guys, and thanks for watching. We recently bought a 2016 Subaru Forester and wanted to get some all-weather mats for it. We've had the Subaru ones in the past, but I've wanted to try out some of the floor liners like WeatherTech and Husky make. We ended up selecting the Husky based upon pictures and other things that we'd seen online. They appear to have a little bit better coverage, at least for this car. So I wanted to show you what they look like for the Subaru Forester, show you what they look like installed, and kind of show the coverage area. So let's take a look. So this is the passenger side, the driver's side, and then the rear for the Subaru Forester. The main thing we noticed in the pictures is this area right here under the throttle or gas pedal seems to have a lot better coverage than the WeatherTech do for this model. And then this is what you'd call the dead pedal or footrest. That seemed to have better coverage too. And then lastly, this area right here apparently covers the gas door, and some people are actually taking a razor knife and cutting this out and trying to put a little handle on it there in order to make it more accessible. Now I will say right off the bat, these are not perfect. You can see where it's just, you know, not perfectly formed. I already kind of popped this one out. They were a little scuffed and dirty already right here, and you can just see, you know, overall they sit pretty well, but I think they'll have to be in the car. The car will probably have to get hot, and then they'll probably relax and sit correctly. I'll do a follow-up video once I get them installed in the car, and that way you can see what they look like. I will say I was kind of surprised. A lot of the reviewers said how sharp the spikes for the carpet are to hold them in place. I thought they were probably kind of being silly, but they are really hard plastic, so these spikes are actually pretty sharp. And so right here, I mean, it's pretty surprising actually how sharp these spikes actually are, so do be careful with them if you get them. All right, let's get them in the car and see what they look like. All right, we're in the car. I'm sorry I'm squinting, it's a little bright, but I'm not going to complain about the sun being out. Since 2020 it seemed like it's rained in Tennessee just constantly. So got them installed. Let's take a look. So this is the driver's side, and this is the one where I feel like there's the most coverage difference. The WeatherTech cuts out right here, so all that is exposed, and then for some reason on the dead pedal it stops about here when the factory dead pedal goes all the way up. There are spikes there. Of course, they're not going to stick to the dead pedal. I did have to trim this one out a little bit to get it to go in. I did not trim that one at all, but as you can see, it sits pretty well. One thing that's a little odd is how it does cover that gas door pop, and there are spikes there too for some silly reason, and you can see why some people cut that out, because you could totally access it if you cut this out. So we'll see if that becomes an issue, and we'll go ahead and cut that out if we need to. But that's the driver's side. Let's get around to the passenger side. All right, so this side, I like how far back it comes. I think it sits pretty well on the sides. It's not sitting very well up here, and I'm guessing that's just because, you know, it probably needs to get hot from being in the box and shipping and everything. I will say the WeatherTech, I think, comes up a lot higher over here, and I think it comes up a bit higher over here as well. But, you know, since the passenger side's not going to get used nearly as often as the driver's side, we kind of chose based on that coverage for the driver's side. You can see it does cover the bolts, and I do like the way this piece is done here. These are pretty hard plastic. They're not supple, they're not very malleable. And then here's the back seat. You can see coverage here is excellent. This was the biggest difference in how they came up on top. I think the WeatherTech kind of comes down here, so I really like how that hugs. This one fits just awesome. I mean, there's a slight gap right there, but if you look, I mean, it's, you know, form fit over the factory brackets and everything. You do have to kind of put it in, you know, kind of face first and slide it underneath the front seats. But as you can see, this coverage does look really good, and overall I'm pretty happy with it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with these Husky floor liners, and I do think they were a little bit cheaper, around like 40 bucks cheaper on Amazon than the WeatherTech. WeatherTech you really can't get a deal on no matter where you buy it, and they do charge shipping unless you get at least 2 things, which a set like this would have only been considered 1. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the fitment and everything of these Huskies, but you know, time's gonna tell, and I think that's the biggest thing with a product like this. So we'll plan to do a follow-up video here in the next couple of months just to kind of show how they're wearing. Did they sit down where I want them to, you know, overall, you know, how it's going with them. But I do appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, or if you have any tips, tricks, or, you know, opinions of your own, put those in the comments as well. I'll try to put model numbers and everything in the description, and I might try to link to some of the pictures as far as what it looks like with the WeatherTech, so you can compare. Now, I am probably going to get the WeatherTech for my Sequoia, because they actually don't make custom fit liners from Husky for the Sequoia, because I have an old one. I have a 2007, which is the first gen. So I'll do a follow-up video with that. Thanks so much.